What if just 15 minutes a day could change your life? What if learning English wasn't about talent or luck, but about small daily actions that anyone can take? This is not just a dream. It's the truth that successful people across the world have proven again and again. In this series, you'll discover powerful stories of famous people who built great things by starting small. You'll hear how Arnold Schwarzenegger learned English step by step, how J.K. Rowling created her success through daily writing, and how inventors, singers, and even world leaders used simple daily habits to grow. And along the way, I'll share my own journey, what worked, what didn't, and what you can try too. This is not just a self-help guide. It's a learning experience full of real examples, personal stories, and practical ideas to help you make English part of your life, not just a subject. Each chapter will show you one key idea, one small change that can help you build a routine that really works. Whether you're a student, a busy parent, or someone restarting their learning journey, these stories will inspire you to keep going, even when it's hard. The best part? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to study for hours. You just need to start. Every big success begins with a small step, and your English journey can start today. So grab a notebook, open your mind, and get ready to be inspired. And don't forget to subscribe to Read and Learn English for more powerful lessons, real stories, and daily motivation to help you grow. Let's begin together. Chapter 1. Start with 15 minutes. When we think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, we often think of a strong bodybuilder, a Hollywood actor, or the former governor of California. But many people forget something very important. Arnold was not born in the United States. He was born in Austria, and English was not his first language. In fact, when he first moved to America, he could hardly speak any English at all. His success story is not just about muscles or movies. It's also about learning a new language, step by step. And it all started small. Arnold didn't learn English in one day or even in 1 year. He started with simple steps. When he arrived in the U.S., he knew he had to learn English to succeed in his goals. He wanted to become a famous actor, and for that, he needed to speak clearly and confidently. But he didn't have hours and hours every day to study. He was training at the gym, working different jobs, and building his career. So, what did he do? He used small pockets of time, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes there, to study English every day. This is the power of small habits. Many English learners think they need to study for 2 or 3 hours a day to improve. But the truth is, consistency is more important than time. Studying English for 15 minutes every day is better than studying for 3 hours once a week. Why? Because daily practice keeps your brain active. It helps you remember more. It makes learning feel like a part of your life, not just homework. Arnold understood this. He started by reading simple English books. He watched English movies with subtitles. He listened to people around him. Most importantly, he practiced speaking, even if he made mistakes. He didn't wait to be perfect. He used the English he had, and slowly he got better. This is a powerful lesson for all English learners. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to begin. Maybe today you only know a few words. That's okay. Use them, speak them, write them. Then tomorrow, learn 2 more. Bit by bit, your English will grow. Think about your day. Do you have 15 minutes in the morning, while you drink coffee, or maybe 15 minutes before bed? That time is enough to start building your English routine. In 15 minutes, you can read one short article. You can listen to a podcast. You can speak out loud to yourself in the mirror. You can write 5 sentences in a journal. These small actions create big results over time. Let me give you a personal example. When I first started learning English seriously, I felt lost. I didn't know how to begin. I thought I needed a teacher or a classroom. But one day, I decided to try something simple. I set a timer for 15 minutes and read a story in English. That was all. The next day, I did the same thing. Slowly, I added more, listening to audio, learning 5 new words, writing a few sentences. My confidence grew. I didn't feel pressure to be perfect. I just kept going. And now, here I am, sharing this story with you on Read and Learn English. If Arnold could learn English without the internet, without language apps, and without online teachers, then you can do it too. Today, you have many tools: YouTube, podcasts, audiobooks, apps, and more. You can use your phone to learn anywhere, anytime. But the key is not the tool. The key is your habit. The tool helps, but your 15-minute routine is what makes the real difference. Arnold once said, "You can't climb the ladder of success with your hands in your pockets." That's true for everything, including English. If you want to speak well, understand more, and feel confident, you must take small steps every day. That is how you build strength in your language, just like building muscles in the gym. One small lift every day becomes great power over time. So, what can you do today? Set your timer for 15 minutes. Choose one simple activity. Read, listen, write, or speak. Don't try to do everything. Just start. Tomorrow, do it again. In 1 week, you'll feel better. In 1 month, you'll be stronger. And in 1 year, you'll look back and say, "Wow, I really improved." Remember, Arnold's journey to success started with learning English step by step. He didn't let fear stop him. He didn't wait to feel ready. He began. You can too. Your journey starts now, with just 15 minutes a day. Chapter 2. Build a Daily Habit. J.K. Rowling is now a famous name around the world. She is the author of the Harry Potter books, one of the most successful book series in history. Her stories have been translated into many languages, made into movies, and loved by millions of people. But her journey to success was not easy. In fact, she was once a single mother, unemployed, and struggling with depression. What changed her life was one simple habit: writing every day. When Rowling began writing Harry Potter, she had no money, no job, and no one to help her. She wrote in cafes while her baby daughter slept beside her. She didn't have a big office or a computer. Sometimes she wrote on pieces of paper or napkins. But every day she made time to write. Just a little. Sometimes it was 1 paragraph, sometimes 1 page. But she didn't stop. This is the power of small daily actions. Many people think that success comes from big changes or lucky moments. But for Rowling, it came from doing something small every day. Her habit of daily writing slowly turned into chapters. Those chapters became books. And those books changed her life forever. This lesson is very important for English learners. You may not be writing a novel, but learning a language is also a long journey. You don't need to do everything in 1 day. You just need to keep moving forward. Like rolling, if you make a small habit part of your day, it can lead to something big. Let's imagine your goal is to become fluent in English. That sounds like a big goal, and it is. But how do you get there? The same way Rowling finished her books, by doing a little bit each day. You can write 5 sentences in a journal. You can learn 5 new words. You can read one short story. The important thing is to do it every day. Let me share a personal story. When I was trying to improve my English writing, I remembered J.K. Rowling's example. I decided to write something in English every day, even if it was only 10 minutes. At first it was hard. I didn't know what to write. My grammar was not perfect, but I didn't stop. I wrote about my day, my dreams, or what I learned. Slowly, I saw progress. My vocabulary grew, my sentences became stronger. Just like Rowling, I didn't wait to be perfect. I just kept writing. One of the best things about writing every day is that it helps you think in English. You stop translating from your language. You start forming your own sentences. You become more confident. Writing is not only about grammar or spelling, it's about expressing your thoughts, and the more you do it, the easier it becomes. J.K. Rowling also teaches us another important lesson. Don't wait for the perfect time. She had many problems in her life. But she didn't say, "I'll write when life is easier." She wrote in hard times. She used what she had. Many English learners say, "I'll study when I have more time," or "I'll practice when I feel ready." But the truth is, there is no perfect time. The best time to start is now, even if it's just for 10 or 15 minutes. Another important part of Rowling's story is her belief in the power of daily work, even when no one was watching. When she was writing Harry Potter, no one knew who she was. She had no fans, no publisher, no success. But she still wrote every day because she believed in her story. As an English learner, you may feel alone. Maybe no one notices your progress. But keep going. Your effort matters. You are building something inside you, something strong. Even today, Rowling continues to write. She says writing is part of her life. It gives her peace. It gives her purpose. You can do the same with English. Make it part of your daily life, not just something you study, but something you live. Write your thoughts. Write your goals. Write your dreams. Even write your English mistakes. It's all part of learning. So, what can you do today? Take 10 or 15 minutes. Find a notebook. Write something in English. Don't worry if it's not perfect. Just write. Tomorrow do the same. Over time, your notebook will fill with words. Your mind will grow stronger. And just like J.K. Rowling, you will see that small daily habits can create big changes. To finish this chapter, remember this. J.K. Rowling didn't need perfect conditions. She needed one thing, a daily habit. And that habit changed her life. You don't need to be a famous writer to learn from her. You just need to take a step every day, starting now. Your English story begins with one sentence. Write it today. Chapter 3. 30 Days Changed Everything. Sometimes the hardest part of learning English is starting. You watch videos, read tips, and download apps. But you don't take action. That was me too. I knew I wanted to improve my English. I wanted to speak more fluently, understand more when I listened, and feel confident. But I didn't have a real routine. Some days I studied, some days I didn't. I felt stuck. Then one day I decided to try something simple, a 30-day English challenge, and it changed everything. The idea was easy. For 30 days, I promised myself to do at least 15 minutes of English practice every single day. No excuses, no skipping. It didn't matter if I was tired, busy, or didn't feel like it. I had to do it. The goal was not to be perfect. It was just to build a habit. On day 1, I started with something I enjoyed, watching a short English video on YouTube. I chose a video with subtitles and wrote down 5 new words. I repeated the words out loud and made one sentence for each. It felt good. I wasn't stressed, and I actually had fun. That night, I wrote in my journal, "Day 1 done." For the next few days, I continued with easy activities. One day, I listened to an English podcast during a walk. Another day, I read a short story. Sometimes I just spoke to myself in English while making tea. The important thing was to do something every day. I didn't follow a strict plan. I followed my interest. And that kept me going. By day 7, I started to notice something. I was thinking in English more often. When I wanted to say something in my head, I didn't always translate from my language first. I also felt more confident. I wasn't afraid of making mistakes because I knew I was practicing regularly. The habit was starting to grow, but it wasn't always easy. Around day 10, I felt tired. One day, I almost forgot. It was late at night, and I was getting ready for bed when I remembered the challenge. I didn't want to break my promise. So I opened my notebook and wrote 10 simple English sentences about my day. It took less than 10 minutes. But I did it. And that felt powerful. It taught me that even a small action can keep your habit alive. By the second week, I became more creative. I started talking to myself in the mirror in English. I tried to describe my plans, my dreams, or just what I ate for lunch. I even recorded short voice messages and listened to them later to check my pronunciation. These small daily activities made me more comfortable using English naturally. One of the best things about this 30-day challenge was that it removed the pressure. I didn't expect to become fluent in 1 month. I just focused on the process. I didn't compare myself to others. I only asked, "Did I practice today?" That simple question helped me stay focused and feel proud of my effort. By day 20, I saw clear progress. My vocabulary was stronger. My speaking was smoother. I could understand more when watching videos without subtitles. Even my writing improved. I was surprised at how much I could say with simple words. I also felt more motivated. The habit became part of my life, like brushing my teeth or drinking water. I didn't have to push myself anymore. It became natural. When I finished day 30, I felt proud. Not because I became perfect, but because I didn't quit. I showed myself that I can stay consistent, that I can grow, that learning English doesn't need to be stressful or boring. It can be fun, personal, and part of daily life. The 30-day challenge taught me one big lesson. Success comes from small steps, repeated every day. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need expensive courses. You just need to start and keep going. If you do something for 30 days, your brain begins to accept it as a normal part of life. That's how habits are made. And good habits build strong language skills. If you're watching this and feel stuck in your English learning, I invite you to try your own 30-day challenge. Make it simple. Choose what you like: listening, reading, speaking, or writing. Set a timer for 15 minutes. Do it every day, no matter what. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for progress. You can even keep a little notebook or calendar and mark each day you finish. This will help you stay motivated and see your journey. At the end of 30 days, you will be stronger, more confident, and proud of yourself. So, what are you waiting for? Your English journey doesn't need to be a big jump, just one small step a day. That's how I started. That's how change happens. Try your 30-day English challenge and see what happens. Chapter 4. Grow through daily progress. When you turn on a light, you probably don't think about Thomas Edison. But without him, our world might still be dark. He was the inventor of the light bulb, the phonograph, and many other important things. Edison held more than 1,000 patents in his lifetime. But what made him special was not just his intelligence, it was his daily routine. He worked every single day, step by step, with focus and discipline. And this is something every English learner can learn from. Edison once said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." In simple words, this means that ideas are important, but daily effort is what brings success. He didn't wait for perfect ideas or motivation. He worked every day, even when he felt tired or unsure. He believed that progress comes from regular action, not sudden luck. In his lab, Edison followed a strict routine. He worked long hours, tested many experiments, and wrote down everything. If one method didn't work, he tried another. Sometimes he tested hundreds of ideas before finding the right one. When someone asked him why he didn't give up, he replied, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That attitude helped him create inventions that changed the world. So, what does Edison's story have to do with learning English? Everything. Learning a language is like creating a new invention. At first, you have no idea how it works. You make mistakes. You try different methods. You feel confused. But if you follow a routine and keep going every day, you make progress. Little by little, things start to click. New words make sense. Sentences become easier. Speaking feels more natural. Think of your English practice as a kind of experiment. One day you listen to a podcast. The next day you try to write in a journal. Maybe one day you struggle to understand a video. That's okay. Just like Edison, you're testing what works. And even when something feels hard, you are still learning. Let me give you a personal example. When I started listening to English podcasts, I felt lost. I couldn't understand everything. But I remembered Edison's story. So I made a plan, 15 minutes a day, every day, no matter what. I chose one short podcast episode and listened to it again and again. I wrote down new words. I repeated the sentences. After a week, I understood more. After a month, I felt confident. It wasn't magic. It was daily progress. Edison didn't invent the light bulb in one night. It took him years, but every day he got a little closer. You can do the same with English. Your light bulb moment will come, but only if you stay on your path. Some days will be easy, some days will be hard, but if you practice daily, your brain will grow stronger, your skills will improve, and soon you'll see how far you've come. Another important lesson from Edison is tracking progress. He wrote everything down in notebooks. This helped him remember what worked and what didn't. As an English learner, you can do the same. Keep a small notebook or digital journal. Write what you did each day. New words, what you read, what you listened to, what you found difficult. This simple habit will help you stay motivated and see your improvement over time. Edison also worked with a team. He knew that sharing ideas and learning with others made him stronger. You can learn from this too. Join a study group, talk to other learners, practice with friends or online language partners. You don't need to do everything alone. Language is for communication, and you improve faster when you use it with people. Most of all, remember that Edison believed in progress, not perfection. He didn't expect everything to work the first time. He accepted mistakes as part of the process. You should too. Don't be afraid of errors. Every time you say the wrong word or forget a grammar rule, you are learning. Just like Edison's failed experiments helped him find the answer, your mistakes help you grow. So what can you do today? Follow Edison's example. Create a small routine. Maybe it's 15 minutes of reading, or 10 minutes of speaking, or writing 3 sentences. Do it every day. Write down what you did. Try different activities. Learn what works best for you. Don't stop when it gets hard. Keep going. In time, you will feel your own light bulb turn on. You'll realize that you understand more, speak more easily, and feel more confident. And you'll know it didn't happen by chance. It happened because you showed up every day, just like Thomas Edison. So turn on your English light. Start small, keep going, make daily progress, and watch your world change. Chapter 5. Practice alone, speak boldly. When we see Shakira on stage or in interviews, she looks confident, smart, and full of energy. She sings in English, speaks fluently, and connects with fans all around the world. But many people don't know that English was not her first language. In fact, she struggled with it at first. Shakira is from Colombia, and she grew up speaking Spanish. When she started her international music career, she knew she had to speak English. But instead of rushing into it, she made a simple, powerful choice. She started by practicing alone. Before giving her first English interviews, Shakira spent a lot of time talking to herself in English. She practiced in front of mirrors, she repeated phrases, she read song lyrics, books, and scripts out loud. She wasn't afraid to sound silly. She didn't wait to be perfect. She just kept practicing, alone, in private, where no one could judge her. And that made all the difference. This is an important lesson for every English learner. You don't need an audience to practice speaking. In fact, some of the best practice happens when you are alone. You can speak freely. You can make mistakes. You can try again and again, just like Shakira did. When I first learned this about her, I felt inspired. Like many learners, I used to think that speaking practice only happened in conversations. I waited for language exchange partners. I looked for tutors. But I didn't realize that I could start practicing on my own, anytime, anywhere. So I decided to try Shakira's method. Every morning I chose a topic. It could be something simple, like what I planned to do that day, or how I felt. I stood in front of the mirror and spoke to myself in English. At first, I felt a little shy, even though I was alone. My sentences were slow. I stopped often to think, but I kept going. I talked about the weather, my goals, my favorite movies. I imagined I was speaking to someone else. I even smiled to make it feel real. After just 1 week, I noticed a change. I didn't pause as much. I remembered more words. I felt more confident. My pronunciation became clearer. And the best part? I wasn't afraid of speaking anymore, because I had already practiced so many times in private. That's the power of speaking alone. It builds your muscle memory. Just like athletes train their bodies, you can train your mouth and brain to work together. Every time you say a sentence, your brain remembers the pattern. Your tongue learns the rhythm. Over time, speaking becomes more natural, just like it did for Shakira. Another great thing about speaking alone is freedom. You can talk about any topic. You can repeat sentences as many times as you want. You don't need to worry about grammar at first. You're just building confidence and fluency. Later, you can check your mistakes, but the first step is getting comfortable with speaking. Shakira once said in an interview that she used to translate everything word by word in her head when learning English. But over time, speaking regularly helped her think directly in English. This is exactly what happens when you practice speaking every day, even alone. You begin to think in English without needing to translate. Here's a simple way to follow Shakira's method. Each day, set a timer for 10 or 15 minutes. Choose a quiet space. Pick a topic, your weekend plans, your favorite food, your childhood memory. Start talking. Use a mirror if you want. Record yourself if you like. Don't worry about mistakes, just speak. Let the words come out. If you don't know a word, describe it in a simple way. Keep going. You can also use objects around you. Look at a cup, a chair, or a picture and describe it in English. You can pretend to order food, introduce yourself, or tell a story. These small, private conversations build your speaking muscles day by day. By the time Shakira gave her first English interviews, she was ready. Why? Because she had already practiced those conversations many times by herself. You can do the same. Speak to yourself today, and one day you'll speak to the world with confidence. Remember this: speaking alone is not a weakness. It's a smart strategy. Many great performers, speakers, and language learners begin in private. They repeat, rehearse, and prepare. That's what gives them confidence when the time comes to speak publicly. So the next time you feel nervous about speaking English, just think of Shakira. She started alone too, and now the whole world listens to her. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. One sentence, one day, one habit. Speak alone today, because tomorrow the world will hear you. Chapter 6. Turn distractions into tools. For a long time, my phone was my biggest distraction. I would open it to check the time, but soon I was scrolling through social media, watching random videos or playing games. Minutes turned into hours. I told myself I was just relaxing, but the truth was, I was wasting time I could have used to improve my English. Then one day, I decided to change the way I use my phone, and that small decision changed everything. It started with one simple thought. What if I used my phone to learn instead of escape? I looked at the apps I used the most. Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok were at the top. I wasn't ready to delete them, but I knew I had to change how I used them. So I made a deal with myself. Every time I picked up my phone, I had to do something in English first, even if it was only for 5 minutes. At first, I downloaded a few apps just for English learners. I started with Duolingo and Memrise. They were fun, short, and easy to use. I replaced the time I used to spend on games with quick vocabulary practice. I even started keeping a note on my phone to write down new words I learned each day. Slowly, my phone began to look like a learning tool, not just a toy. One big change came when I stopped watching random videos and started following English language YouTube channels. I subscribed to channels that taught grammar, shared short stories, or offered listening practice. I even subscribed to English vloggers who spoke naturally about their daily lives. This helped me learn real English, not just textbook English. I watched while eating lunch or waiting in line. My wasted time turned into useful time. Social media, which used to be a distraction, also became a tool. I followed English teachers on Instagram. I followed English quote pages, vocabulary tips, and short lessons. Now, when I opened Instagram, I saw English words instead of just pictures. I turned my scroll into study. It was easy and fun. Learning didn't feel like work anymore. Another smart move I made was changing my phone's language settings to English. At first it was strange. I had to get used to words like settings, notifications, and battery. But within a few days, these new words became normal. This small change helped me think in English more often, without even trying. One day, I was sitting in the park with my phone and felt bored. Normally, I would play a game, but this time, I opened my voice recorder and spoke in English. I talked about my day, my thoughts, my goals. It felt a little silly at first, but it was great practice. I started doing this more often. When walking alone, I spoke quietly to myself. I described what I saw around me or told little stories. My phone became my speaking partner. I also started reading news in English using simple apps like BBC Learning English or the English Times. The articles were short and easy to understand. I read one article every day and wrote a short summary. This helped my reading and writing at the same time. The truth is, I didn't stop using my phone. I just started using it intentionally. I still watched fun videos. I still messaged my friends. But now, I had balance. I made sure that every day my phone helped me improve my English, even just a little bit. After 1 month, I noticed big changes. My vocabulary grew. My listening improved. I felt more confident when speaking. Most of all, I felt in control. My phone was no longer wasting my time. It was helping me grow. Here's what I learned. Your phone is not the problem. Your habits are. You can use the same phone to scroll mindlessly or to learn deeply. The choice is yours. Every time you unlock your phone, you have a chance to grow. So here's my advice to you. Start small. Download one app that helps you learn. Change your phone's language to English. Follow 1 or 2 English channels. Speak into your voice recorder for 5 minutes a day. Use your Notes app to collect new words. Bit by bit, your phone will become your language coach. Shifting how I used my phone didn't just improve my English. It changed how I saw my time, my focus, and my future. I stopped wasting and started building. And if I can do it, you can too. So the next time you reach for your phone, ask yourself, is this helping me grow? If the answer is no, take a deep breath and make a new choice. Use your phone to learn, to speak, to listen, to grow. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 7. Master English with Kaizen. Sometimes we feel like learning English is too big. We want to speak fluently, understand movies, read books, and write like a native speaker. But when we look at how far we still have to go, we feel tired before we even begin. This is where many learners stop. But what if there was a better way? A way that didn't demand big changes all at once, but focused on small, steady steps every day? That way is called Kaizen, a powerful Japanese method that can change how you learn English forever. The word Kaizen means continuous improvement in Japanese. It's a simple but life-changing idea. Don't try to be perfect or fast. Just try to be a little better than yesterday. In Japan, this method helped factories become more efficient, teams work better, and people build strong habits. Now, Kaizen is used all over the world, in business, fitness, mental health, and yes, even in language learning. When I first heard about Kaizen, I was struggling with English. I was trying to do too much. I would study for 2 hours one day, then skip the next 3 days because I felt burned out. I wanted fast results, but I didn't have a routine. That's when I read about Kaizen, and it completely changed my mindset. Instead of studying a lot in one day, Kaizen says, just do a little every day. Even one small action, if you repeat it daily, leads to big results over time. So I started small. I listened to a 5-minute podcast every morning while brushing my teeth. That's it. No stress, no long study session, just 5 minutes. And because it was so easy, I did it again the next day, and the next. After 1 week, I felt more confident listening to English. After 1 month, I started understanding faster. 5 minutes made a difference. Then I added another small habit, writing 3 sentences in English before bed. Sometimes I wrote about my day. Sometimes I wrote a dream or a goal. It only took 5 minutes, but it helped me think in English and practice grammar. Again, it was easy to repeat. That's the beauty of Kaizen. It removes pressure and builds success one step at a time. Let me give you more examples of Kaizen in English learning. 1 new word a day. You don't need to learn 20 new words at once. Just choose one. Write it. Use it in a sentence. Repeat it. That's 365 new words in 1 year. 1 short video a day. Watch a 2-minute English video every day. Choose something interesting. A travel vlog, a mini lesson, a story. Over time, your listening skills will grow. 1 conversation a week. If speaking is hard, don't worry. Just try to talk in English once a week with a friend or language partner. As your confidence grows, increase to twice a week. 1 page a day. Read 1 page from an English book, article, or blog. It doesn't matter if it's slow. What matters is that you do it every day. With Kaizen, consistency is more important than speed. You're not trying to finish quickly. You're building a system that lasts. And that's how real progress happens. The magic of Kaizen is that it also builds confidence. When we try to do too much, we often fail. But when we start small, we succeed. And each small success makes us believe in ourselves more. I remember feeling proud the first week I completed my 5-minute habits. That pride gave me the energy to keep going, and the more I practiced, the better I became. Another benefit of Kaizen is that it removes fear. Many learners are afraid of making mistakes or looking silly. But if you focus on 1 small step, the fear becomes smaller too. You don't have to speak perfectly. You just have to say 1 sentence. You don't need to understand everything. You just need to try. Step by step, you become stronger and more confident. Some days, you may feel tired or unmotivated. That's okay. With Kaizen, your habit is so small that you can still do it, even on hard days. That's the secret to long-term success. Anyone can work hard for 1 day. But real growth comes from daily action, no matter how small. Think of your English journey like planting a tree. You don't see the fruit right away. But if you water it every day, give it sunlight and take care of it, one day it grows tall and strong. That's what Kaizen does. It helps your English grow, quietly, steadily, and surely. So here's your challenge. Choose 1 small English habit today. Make it so easy that you can't say no. It could be listening to a podcast, writing 1 sentence, or learning 1 new word. Do it today. Then do it again tomorrow, and the next day. That's how Kaizen works. Small steps, big results. Trust the process. Keep going. Your English will grow, 1 day at a time. Chapter 8. Live English every day. For many years, I thought of English as a subject, like math or history. It was something I had to study. I opened textbooks, memorized grammar rules, and tried to pass tests. But after all that effort, I still couldn't speak fluently. I couldn't understand movies without subtitles, and I couldn't think in English. I was stuck. Then I made 1 powerful decision that changed everything. I stopped studying English like a subject and started living it like a language. Instead of separating English from my daily life, I made it part of everything I did. I didn't need to move to an English-speaking country. I just needed to shift the way I used the language. From the moment I woke up to the time I went to bed, I found simple ways to connect with English. And that's when my real progress began. One of the first changes I made was thinking in English. It felt strange at first. My thoughts naturally came in my native language. But I started small. When I woke up, I'd say to myself, "It's 7 a.m. I'm getting out of bed. I'm brushing my teeth." These small daily thoughts became my first English conversations. I didn't need anyone else. I was training my brain to speak from the inside. Then I changed the way I read things around me. I started reading menus, signs, and labels in English. At the supermarket, I read the back of cereal boxes in English. In restaurants, I used English versions of the menu, even if I already knew what I wanted to order. I started to notice English everywhere, and every time I did, I read it carefully, like a student reading a story. I also changed my phone and computer settings to English. At first, I had to guess what some words meant, but within a few days, I got used to it. This simple switch helped me learn modern vocabulary I wouldn't find in textbooks, like notifications, airplane mode, and storage. I saw these words every day, and that helped them stick in my memory. Another fun habit was watching short videos on YouTube or TikTok, but only in English. I followed travel vloggers, cooking channels, and comedians who spoke naturally. This helped me understand different accents and listen to casual, real-life conversations. I didn't understand everything at first, but I didn't stop. I learned to guess meaning from context. Slowly, I stopped translating in my head. I just understood. One of the most powerful tools I used was a daily English journal. Every night before bed, I wrote a few sentences about my day, what I did, how I felt, what I learned. This helped me practice vocabulary and grammar naturally. Some days, I wrote only 3 lines. Other days, I wrote full paragraphs. Over time, I started to see my writing improve. I also began to notice how much easier it was to express myself in English. I didn't stop there. I used English when I cooked by following recipes in English. I listened to English music and tried to understand the lyrics. I spoke to myself while cleaning or walking. "I'm washing the dishes. The water is hot. I need more soap." It felt simple, even childish. But it worked. I was using English in real situations. That's how I turned it into a living language, not a school subject. One of my favorite tricks was changing how I searched for information online. Instead of searching in my native language, I started using Google in English. For example, if I wanted to learn how to bake a cake or fix my phone, I searched the instructions in English. This gave me a real reason to read and understand the language, and I learned practical words I could actually use. I also joined online communities where people spoke English, Facebook groups, forums, and language exchange apps. Even if I didn't post often, just reading the conversations helped me understand how native speakers write informally. It was like being in an English-speaking world without leaving my house. After a few months, something amazing happened. I stopped thinking, "Now it's time to study English," because I was already learning all day without pressure. My progress became natural and automatic. I spoke more easily, understood more quickly, and felt more confident. I realized that language is not just something you study. it's something you live. So here's my message to you. Don't wait for the perfect time or place to learn English. Start living in English right now, wherever you are. You don't need special tools. You don't need to be fluent. Just add small English moments into your daily life. Think in English, read in English, watch in English, speak in English, even if it's only to yourself. You'll be surprised how much progress you make when English becomes a part of your everyday routine. The secret isn't more study time. The secret is connection, making English part of your world. Start today, live the language, and soon you won't just be learning English, you'll be living it. Chapter 9. Win with Daily Persistence. Winston Churchill is one of the most famous leaders in history. He was the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom during World War II, known for his powerful speeches and strong leadership. But what many people don't know is that Churchill was not a perfect student. In fact, he struggled a lot in school. He failed many subjects and was not considered a genius or especially talented at first. So, how did he become such a great leader and speaker? The answer lies in his persistence, his habit of learning every day, no matter how hard it was. Churchill's early school life was full of challenges. He was often absent, he struggled with his grades, and he found it difficult to keep up with other students. Teachers thought he would never succeed, but Churchill did not give up. He believed that hard work and daily effort could overcome natural talent or early failure. Instead of feeling discouraged, he developed a habit of learning little by little every day. This idea of daily persistence is very important for anyone learning English. Sometimes we feel like we are not smart enough or that we cannot learn fast. Like Churchill, many people face difficulties at the start. But what matters most is not how talented we are, but how committed we are to keep going. Churchill spent much of his life reading and practicing his speaking skills. He read books on history, politics, and literature. He wrote speeches and practiced speaking in front of a mirror or to small groups. Even when he failed, he kept trying. His daily learning was not always easy or fun, but it was consistent. For English learners, the lesson from Churchill is clear. Talent is not as important as persistence and daily effort. You might make mistakes, forget words, or feel slow. That's normal. What matters is to keep practicing, even when it's hard or you don't see quick results. One way to do this is to set a simple daily goal. It can be reading a short article, writing a few sentences, or practicing speaking for 5 minutes. Like Churchill, focus on learning every day. Over time, small steps add up to big progress. Churchill also showed us the power of self-belief. Even when people doubted him, he believed in his ability to improve. This confidence helped him keep working hard. For English learners, believing that you can improve is just as important as studying. If you think you can learn, you will find the strength to keep going. Another important part of Churchill's story is how he used his failures as lessons. He didn't see failure as the end. Instead, he learned from his mistakes and tried again. If you make mistakes in English, like saying something wrong or misunderstanding, it's not a failure. It's an opportunity to learn and grow. Churchill's life teaches us that success does not come from talent alone. It comes from daily learning, persistence, and believing in yourself. If Winston Churchill could overcome school failures and become one of the greatest leaders in history, you can overcome difficulties in learning English. So, when you feel frustrated or want to give up, remember Churchill's story. Keep learning every day, even if it's just a little. Believe in your ability to improve. Use mistakes as lessons, and trust that persistence will lead you to success. Your English journey is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Take small steps every day and you will get better, just like Winston Churchill. Chapter 10. Keep going, don't quit. Learning English is an exciting journey, but it is also full of challenges. Many people start with enthusiasm, feeling motivated and hopeful, but after a few weeks or months, they stop. They quit. Have you ever wondered why most people quit learning English? And more importantly, how you can avoid giving up and keep going no matter what? The truth is, quitting is normal. Almost everyone faces moments of doubt, frustration, or tiredness when learning a new language. It's easy to feel that progress is too slow or that the goal is too far away. But the difference between those who quit and those who succeed is mindset, how you think about failure, challenges, and progress. Let me share with you some stories that show why people quit and how a simple change in mindset helped others keep going and succeed. First, there is the story of Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players in the world. When Michael was young, he was cut from his school basketball team. Many would see this as failure and give up, but Michael didn't quit. He said later that his failures motivated him to work harder. He kept practicing every day, improving step by step. Today, he is famous for his persistence. His story teaches us that failure is not the end. It is the start of a new effort. In English learning, you might miss words, forget grammar rules, or feel shy to speak. That's normal. Instead of quitting, remember Michael Jordan. Use mistakes as lessons, not reasons to stop. Every mistake helps you get better. Another important story is from J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter books. Before she became famous, Rowling faced many rejections from publishers. Her first book was refused multiple times. Many writers would have given up. But Rowling kept writing and submitting her work. She believed in her story and her skills. Eventually, she succeeded and became one of the world's most beloved authors. Rowling's story shows us that rejection and no are part of success. For English learners, this means you might hear no or get negative feedback. Don't let that stop you. Keep learning, keep practicing, and keep believing in yourself. The most important lesson from these stories is that your mindset controls your success. If you think failure means, "I can't do this," then you will quit. But if you think failure means, "I need to try again and learn," then you will keep going. The way you think about challenges makes all the difference. Many people quit because they set impossible goals. They want to speak perfectly in 1 month or understand every word in movies immediately. When these goals don't happen, they feel discouraged and stop. But success comes from setting small, achievable goals and celebrating small wins. For example, instead of saying, "I want to be fluent in English by next month," try saying, "I will learn 5 new words every day," or "I will listen to 1 English podcast every morning." These small goals are easier to reach, and each success motivates you to continue. Also, remember to be kind to yourself. Learning a language is a long journey. You will have good days and bad days. On hard days, don't be too critical. Take a break if you need to, but don't quit. Rest, then return with fresh energy. Another key factor that helps you keep going is finding joy in the process. When you enjoy learning, it doesn't feel like a burden. Find ways to make English fun. Watch movies, listen to music, read stories you like, or speak with friends. When learning feels enjoyable, you will want to continue naturally. Many learners also quit because they feel alone. Learning alone can be lonely and hard. Find a community or friends who are also learning English. Join a language group, an online forum, or a class. Sharing your journey with others gives you support and motivation. Finally, remind yourself why you started learning English. Is it for travel, for work, to watch movies without subtitles? When your reason is clear, it gives you strength during difficult times. So, how can you keep going when you feel like quitting? 1. Change your mindset. See failure as a chance to learn, not as a reason to stop. 2. Set small goals. Focus on daily actions that are easy and achievable. 3. Be kind to yourself. Accept that learning is a process with ups and downs. 4. Find joy. Make learning fun with activities you enjoy. 5. Connect with others. Build a support system of friends or groups. 6. Remember your why. Keep your reasons for learning close to your heart. Remember, quitting is easy, but success requires effort and persistence. The people who speak English well today didn't give up when it was hard. They kept going. Your English journey is yours alone. Celebrate every small victory, learn from every mistake, and never forget that your mindset is your most powerful tool. Keep going. You can do this. No matter how hard it gets, remember that every step forward brings you closer to your goal. Success is not about being perfect. It's about never giving up. You have the power to change your mindset, keep learning, and grow every single day. If you stay consistent and believe in yourself, your English will improve more than you ever thought possible. If you found this story helpful and want more tips, stories, and daily motivation to keep you moving forward, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Together, we'll build habits, overcome challenges, and make English learning a natural and enjoyable part of your life. Hit the like button if you're ready to keep going, and don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Your journey to English fluency starts here, and I'm with you every step of the way. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.